Britt here from Torq. If you're in the security automation space, chances are you've probably seen the name Filip Stojkovski. Now, maybe you've seen him on LinkedIn, maybe you've read his blog, or maybe you've read his blueprint, which is why we wanted to have him on today. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, allow me to explain. Filip, I see you everywhere. LinkedIn, I've read your blog, but go ahead, tell the audience a little bit more about yourself.
Hey Britt, first thanks for having me. Yes, I've been in the cybersecurity industry for over 12 years now. HP Enterprise, Adobe, CrowdStrike as well. Currently I'm at a financial institution leading the security automation and SecOps engineering.
Perfect. Well, Filip, you created an amazing blueprint for effective security automation, and I would love to have you walk us through it today. So first and foremost, who did you design this guide for?
So first, I'm thrilled to hear that it starts to make some waves, and the blueprint was designed mainly for the cybersec community, I would say. And it's going into the how and where to start the security automation journey. I think that there's a gap on sharing security frameworks. So if you're looking at the threat intelligence or red teaming, you would find a lot of frameworks on which us as professionals we can rely on and then build our program. So I wanted to consolidate all the knowledge that I gathered and put it into a comprehensive framework. So whenever someone starts a security automation program, they can say, okay, these are the steps that we need to take to build an effective and mature program. And it's more of a, as I said, as a roadmap for the cybersecurity professionals.
Okay, so let's start with the source. How do we even decide what we're going to automate?
So I think this first step is quite important. And why I say that? Because it involves a deep dive into understanding the needs of the stakeholders and pointing the processes for automation. So it's not just automating for the sake of automating, but it's strategically selecting the areas that will benefit most from automation. And that way also we can pick the platform that has the right integrations and it fits our needs. So then we don't stay months and months to build a platform that in my end, it might not work out. So yes, it's all about selecting, understanding what are your needs and then selecting the right platform for you.
Okay, so step 2, how can we assess if automation is even feasible for our organization?
So checking if automation will work for your organization, from one side it can be tricky because big companies, they have a lot of rules. This is important to understand because then you can set the right expectations. And on the back end, if you have a lot of bureaucracy and you have a lot of approvals to gain, it might take you 6 months just to put all the infrastructure in place. Yeah, that's setting just realistically when you will see some return on investment on your automation, and don't run too fast and say that, okay, automation doesn't work for us, because the expectations, they were not right from the sole beginning of the building the program.
So would you say step 3 is where we need to bring hyper-automation in?
In most of the technology that we're building for cybersecurity, there are multiple stages. Like it was antivirus, and then it came EDR. It was at the beginning it was a SOAR, then it involves to hyper automation. So it's the next thing that it's faster, it's better, and that's why I think that hyper automation it's key element. Also with the development of AI and ML, so we need solutions that they have this integrated by design. If you're looking at old platforms, they'll add just an add-on that will make it look like it's working with some AI and ML. But if it's designed that way, then I think the results there are way better.
Absolutely. So step 4, how should we decide who implements the automations?
So on this step, I would say who implements the automation is less about the who, and it's more about the how. And this aligns with the organization capabilities and goals. I've seen there are 2 types of, let's say, who runs the security automation program. Usually it's the engineering team or it's the security operations team. And this is depending also on the resources the specific organization has. But here it goes also back to the first step, understanding how, what you need. Because if you have an organization where you need to follow your software development lifecycle for automation, then if you give it to your security operations analyst, that won't work well because they're not developers. Then you need a team of engineers that will support it. Deciding that upfront, it's causing less friction within the organization, and you can see faster some good results.
Absolutely. So you mentioned the how. Can you walk us through a little bit more details on the infrastructure and process of all this?
Yeah, so the infrastructure, this I've seen lately getting a bit more traction. So at the beginning, when I started working with SOAR platform, it was, okay, just add a SOAR platform. It's just your addition to your security incident management. Now it's not that. It's like a platform that is the other way around. You need to have it in the backend to support all your processes. So thinking of the infrastructure early in the way, you can then set the expectations right, and you purchase the product you need. You need at least test environment, the production environment. So don't just build one environment where it will be complete chaos. And the most important part here that I see a lot they're missing it, and that's why I built the framework on it. This is the role-based access control. So the automations there, it's really powerful. And I would say with great power comes the need for strict controls, because you can do a lot, but you need to have all the proper controls around it, so things, they don't go sideways or they do something unexpected.
Mm-hmm. We're almost done, I promise. Can you guide us through the nitty gritty of use case development?
So yeah, I can talk a lot on this, but I'll try to keep it brief. I would say for the use case development, this is where innovative thinking intersects with the tactical planning, I would say. So at this stage, it's what I advocate is to prioritize the process that are most frequently used within the organization. This can be detection rules, or they can be some governance processes. And these areas often serve as the backbone of the security operations, I would say. And because they are highly used and they have high impact, focusing on them and doing them first, then it can free up a lot of time. So organization will move from this reactive thinking to proactive. First, I would say every time try to fix all the reactive problems so you can concentrate on proactive. And when you start thinking proactively, then you can look at those scenarios that really bring extra value, and you can, I would say, easily double on the return on investment of a security automation platform.
And finally, the metrics. How can we measure the impact of all this hard work we've done in cyber terms?
So I would say measuring the impact is straightforward if all the previous steps are well executed. So this is not that complicated if all the work been done right. And I would say not to reinvent the wheel on the metrics. All the time is the easiest to start with the ones that are well known, like the reducing the time to detect or and respond, or the FTE savings, which is quite popular metric for automation platforms. And if you're looking at hyper automation, then we can go even metric for proactive threat mitigation, because we start to look at those proactive metrics, what I was mentioning earlier. And the ultimate goal is just to showcase the return on investment and balancing the cost that we put into the platform and what we are getting out of it.
Amazing. Well, Filip, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.